Titus the goat ate everything. He ate carrots and cabbages. He ate dandelions and dock leaves. He ate prickly, tickly thistles. And he even ate Farmer Harry's pants and vests off the washing line. Titus absolutely loved eating, until one day he woke up with a terrible pain. He didn't want his breakfast, and he didn't want to munch and crunch the apples in the orchard. He wasn't even tempted to nibble at Mrs. Harry's nightdress. Titus felt as miserable as a goat with a toothache. He was a terribly grouchy, grumbly goat indeed. "That's a troublesome tooth," said Derry the donkey. "Open your mouth, and I'll pull it out with my big, strong teeth." Titus shook from his tail horns to the tip of his tail. "Oh, no, thanks," he bleated. He ran and grouched and grumbled, until he reached the farmyard. "That's a troublesome tooth," said Sadie the hen. "Open your mouth, and I'll peck it out with my nice, sharp beak." Titus quivered on all four hooves. "Oh, no thanks," he cried. Titus ran and grouched and grumbled, until he reached the barn. "That's a troublesome tooth," said Polly the cat. "Open your mouth, and I'll scratch it out with my long, shiny claws." Titus trembled from his white beard to his furry bottom. "Oh, no thanks," he shouted. Titus ran and grouched and grumbled, until he reached the meadow. "That's a troublesome tooth," said Basil the bull. "Open your mouth, and I'll butt it out with my hard, curly horns." All Titus's teeth chattered and rattled, even the bad one. No thanks," he sobbed. Titus ran and crouched and grumbled, until he reached the duck pond. "That's a troublesome tooth," said Daphne the duck. "Open your mouth, and I'll tug it out with some duckweed." Titus shook so much that he nearly fell into the water. "Oh, no thanks," he yelled. Titus ran and grouched and grumbled, until he found himself right back in the farmyard again. "Don't worry," said Sadie the hen. "Farmer Harry will get rid of that troublesome tooth for you, because he's called the vet." "The vet!" shouted Titus. He quivered and he shivered. He trembled and shook. His teeth rattled and chattered, even the bad one. "No way do I want the vet." Titus ran and grouched and grumbled until... Crash! Titus bashed his head against the fence, and the troublesome tooth fell out at last.